Something on my face? Hi, everybody. What? Welcome to the Deadheads. I'm your master spud of ceremonies. And
you look a bit different.
Today we're...
you look a little bit different to the way you normally do.
I pissed off a wizard.
Ah, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
And he cursed me to a life of ranch dressing.
I have to say, as a dedicated Irishman, this is possibly the tastiest I've ever seen you look.
Now tell me my eyes are pretty.
All 5 million of them. Gorgeous.
All right. Today we're doing something that's probably going to be a lot of fun for all of us. It kind of reminds me of when we were little, and actually I still do this. When we talk about our favorite characters, our favorite monsters, our favorite superheroes, defeat who would Captain America defeat Aquaman? You know, we like to mix genres. Would Charlie Brown do against the Terminator? I'd kind of like to see that. So we're picking three different
that would be
horror
a massacre.
Yeah. Terminator is...
Oh no, Charlie Brown. You don't fuck with Charlie Brown, man.
Yeah. He was arrested for robbing... He got in trouble with the law not too long ago, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure he got done for abuse at a later stage. Spousal abuse or something. I can't remember. He didn't have a good life after the whole Peanuts thing ended.
Yeah. Snoopy testified against him. It was horrible.
The only dog I've ever seen been a pigeon.
He only talks when he wants to, does that dog?
It's a rat. But we're talking about horror icons and a little bit of sci-fi in there. We have three categories: human, monster, and supernatural. You'll see supernatural, monster are kind of two different things, the way we're treating them here. So let's let the rest of the gang introduce themselves.
Hello. Yes, I'm no longer a potato. But no, I'm buddy Mike. Hi. Yeah, I'm here to discuss a few, because I think I've picked to beat down almost any adversary within the given criteria. And I think it's going to be really fun, especially when we get to part 3. I mean, that's the conversation, the supernatural beat down. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm very looking forward to round 1, to be honest, because I think I got a winner. I
got
a winner.
You think you have a winner? But no, it's like if you look at some of the movies which have explored the whole idea of pitting, you know, these icons together, Freddy versus Jason, and as an example, some of the biggest ones. Why aren't there more? You know, a lot of people have been speaking about introducing Pinhead into a sequel to Freddy versus Jason. I'm like, yes, let's do this.
I'm down with that.
Yes. Apparently, the original ending to Freddy versus Jason was meant to end with them both in hell or just a black room, still fighting, and Pinhead was supposed to walk forward and says, "Gentlemen, what seems to be the problem?"
And it was also supposed to have Ash.
Meant to end there. There was the comic series, Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
Well, that semi carried on. That's actually where the movie came from, because that was around before the movie, if memory serves me correctly.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know Freddy versus it's been teased for a long time.
Yeah, but you see, there's
like the end of Jason Lives, where the glove.
Well, there's the Necronomicon tie-in, and then there's the Kandarian dagger tie-in in Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, that was in Friday the 13th. I think it was part 4. You got the Necronomicon and the dagger in Jason's mother's house. Yeah. It's on like the one of the tables in the background.
There's some tie-in when,
and that implied. Yeah, that implied that Jason was a Cenobite. Not a Cenobite, a Deadite.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm okay with that. But yeah,
isn't it the biggest stumbling block to these was like nobody wanted to sign over their properties, or there's too much money or licensing involved?
Yeah, with Freddy versus Jason, it was because they were both. Well, Freddy was owned by New Line Cinema, and eventually they bought the rights to Freddy versus Jason, which is what made the movie. Now, Pinhead is owned. I think it's Dimension Films that own the Hellraiser franchise, which is why they keep releasing stupid, shitty movies. So yeah, but I believe it is all down to the licensing issue. But if we do have any gamers on listening, there is a fantastic little fan-made aerodrome.
Yeah,
if you want to know of this game,
we used to be well involved with that in when we were doing the Emerald Gore Society stuff.
Yeah, it's a free game. Just download it. You can pick all your favorite: Freddy, Jason, Ghostface, the tall man from Phantasm, Chucky's in there, Dr. West, the maniac cop, Pumpkinhead,
Jack the Ripper.
And I've not. Last time I played, he hadn't been added, so I may need to look into that one. But it's just for a free game, just a tournament fighter.
It's Street
just
Fighter,
been made with love,
with all the horror icons.
And of course, Ash Williams is in there. I mean, what's the point? You got
There's one or two good guys in there. I don't think it's just Ash, but it's predominantly bad dudes.
Yeah, the baddest.
Still the good guys.
So that would be a good way to say. But you have to look at these sort of these one-on-one face-offs, and you think, well, how can that character survive against this character? It's like, say, how could Ghostface, who's just a man, possibly compete against somebody like, I don't know, Freddy Krueger?
Can't, probably.
He is just a man. There's no real challenge there. I mean, it's a one-sided fight, which is why we've discussed this and split this into three different categories. We have the one, just human. That is the law. If a bullet to the head kills them, they are done. They are just simply human villains. So that's going to be round one. For round two, we've suggested boogeymen / monsters. So boogeymen being those supernatural, but those otherworldly kind of villains, like Jason Voorhees, who is effectively a zombie of sorts, an unstoppable killer machine.
He's a vengeance demon.
And then, yes. And then going into the supernatural side of fighting each characters, the ones which are completely unique, they have no corporeal body for anybody to attack. There needs to be, they're not effectively physical. So they always have that upper hand. So those are the three categories we're doing. Now, for round one, I believe Tom and Johnny and myself, we all have a competitor who we'd like to throw in the ring and see who would win. Now, for my first entry into the battle of the human villains, I would like to enter my boy Leatherface, because he's motherfucking Leatherface. He's the most savage, brutal, simple, one-track minded. This guy will kill you. And he will eat you, all to please the love of his family. He's unstoppable, with the exception of actual, disposing of humans. So that is my contribution to this fight. Who's next?
I throw Hannibal Lecter into the mix, who, unlike Leatherface, is not dumb as a post, is highly and dangerously intelligent, is also trained up as a samurai, is also able to control people's minds, not by like any telekinesis side of thing, just by intellectually mind fucking them until they bend to his will. And of course,
he gets in your head.
Yeah, he gets in your head, and then he opens your head up and eats what's in it. That's my entry. I just thought the samurai was a very essential note to be pointed out.
Leatherface versus Hannibal Lecter versus
Charlie Brown. No,
damn it!
The Collector. The Collector from the movie The Collector, The Collection, and coming soon, The Collected. He is a devious, brutal killer who goes into people's, and he slaughters everyone but one person, and he adds to his collection. He's extremely intelligent and seemingly a brilliant engineer, and he's able to turn a person's house into an incredible maze of horror and death traps in a remarkably short amount of time, which shows excellent time management skills, which anyone my age kind of really appreciates. And he is just relentless, and his traps are just so brutal and dangerous, and it's like Kevin McAllister lost his mind even more.
It's Kevin McAllister.
he's like Home Alone, but he
No, he is
delivers.
Home Alone.
So he sets up
It's just
on
he
site.
grew up. I'm telling you, it's Kevin.
So-
I'm avidly on this. Like I'm on it like a carb on it. Kevin McAllister is the collector.
I do like that concept. I love the concept that he also Jigsaw. I like both.
The
But
collector's
saying
way
there,
more up
Tom,
his MO.
Yeah. As Tom was saying about the collector, his plan of attack, his all ability is down to his preparation. And it's all within the home. Now, with my boy Leatherface being effectively homebound, who unless he's chasing, leave his own home, in what
What's that
situation would the collector be able to get in and actually rig up, the Sawyer household? How would he have that upper hand to actually prepare for a fight against Leatherface?
He could probably get city plans, or maybe cases the joint. It might be on the internet.
How does he deal for the fact that there's 6 cannibals in the house? Because it's not, if you're rigging up the Sawyer house, it's not just him.
Well, it's also their house always seems very busy with bones and stuff everywhere. It's probably easier to hide all the traps.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
probably rig a
that's
lot of
quite
them to be traps.
I mean, both of your guys have the massive upper hand in regards to intelligence. But how can an intelligent person fight somebody that is just pure, dumb aggression? He can't get inside Leatherface's head. No, sorry, Hannibal cannot.
Why?
There's no head to get into.
That's not true at all.
How is that not true
There's
at
been
all?
scenes where people have appealed to his more not murderous side. I know it's very much depending on what mask he's wearing at any one time. But if you're, for instance, if you're dealing with if you're dealing with Susie Homemaker, Leatherface with the granny face on, who does all the cooking and all the housekeeping in the kitchen, I'm pretty sure Leatherface could mindfuck her stupid. Or not Leatherface, Hannibal could mindfuck her stupid.
So you go for like a what's the word I'm looking for? Not an ad hoc, a proxy. You think you could create a proxy to actually abuse Leatherface?
No, personally, I think what Hannibal will do is Hannibal will confront Leatherface, then take Tacky, and then while Leatherface is out looking for him, he will appear from somewhere and fuck him up.
Okay, so I want to know is, you've got the Collector and you've got Hannibal, both highly intelligent people who also, I mean, even Hannibal covers his tracks. He's prepared for oncoming attacks. And now there is an opportunity, obviously, for Hannibal to leave his house and have the Collector rig. How would that work out? Say Hannibal does return home with the Collector waiting.
Hannibal has been known to have an highly adept sense of smell above, which is, I'm assuming, something he got from being a cannibal for so long, which is like, that's in the book. Like when he changes his appearance in the sequel, the reason he doesn't get his nose changed is so he's worried that it will affect this more acute sense of smell that he has. So I would assume that he would essentially smell a disturbance in the force, like an extra person around that isn't supposed to be there, and just be on high caution. Now, as for will that stop him walking over one of the very million laid traps? I forgot the versus screen. Okay, whoops.
Well, I think he would be in the house before he did the Collector, and he'd already be trapped.
Now, with the Collector's other biggest asset is the fact that he doesn't just have one contingency plan. He has a dozen contingency plans to get
one after the other.
Yeah, I mean, there are many opportunities there. But again, it's like, I don't know. Let's have a look at what the commenters say. Where are we? Jamie Lee Curtis versus Predator. Yeah, I'd watch that. I just watched that. Hannibal is a good choice. Hoping somebody would choose Ash. We're only going for villains.
It's all bad guys, unfortunately.
The Collector was able to take out the entire rave in the second movie. I think he could take out Leatherface. Okay.
True, but
Cinema
in the
Reaper
second
reviews.
movie, he also got taken out single-handedly by the cat burglar and captured and locked in a box for the sequel that's coming out soon.
Yeah, but by then he was tired.
Oh, yeah, I'm not disputing. He'd murdered a lot of people.
Cinema-
Once you take out an entire nightclub in one go, you're kind of like, oh, I think I put my legs up for the day. To be honest, I think I'm done.
Yeah, it's Miller time.
Cinema Reaper review says, what about a rigged meat hook? Okay, so he's on about the Collector versus Leatherface there.
He would totally turn their own things against them. I could see the Collector turning a chainsaw into some type of trap that would turn against Leatherface, and maybe booby trap some of Hannibal's cookbooks.
Yeah, you know what? That is a valid attack.
I could actually see the Collector being thrown up on the meat hook and then a massive weight falling down from the sky or something.
Yeah, the hook pulls down the weight
and falls down and the weight just plonk. Splatty Leatherface. Goodbye. Because that's a pretty much go-to maneuver for Leatherface is hook the guy on a hook. Sort you out later.
I mean, if it gets to that point, Leatherface was always chasing people and fairly easy to direct. So if he could lure him into yet another trap and then spring it on him that way.
That would be the manipulation there, yeah. I don't know. I mean, what are your boys' weaknesses? I mean, the Collector and Hannibal are both very, very confident killers. I'd intelligence to Hannibal, but I have to give preparedness to the Collector. So that's where the biggest interesting battle here is. I think with my boy, his ability to be maimed, mangled, and still get up and be able to attack does work in his favor. The brute animosity of Leatherface to be able to keep going. If you look at the first film when he takes a chainsaw to the leg and he's still capable of running, it's like, that dude can take some punishment.
Well, all three guys are kind of sides of a different three-sided coin. Leatherface is body strength, physical strength. Hannibal is mental strength, and the Collector is like
the demented Boy Scout.
Well, school, like intelligence, as in physics and mechanical engineering, that type of knowledge. If these three work together, my God, that would be terrifying. I mean, Hannibal would be master blastered on the back of Leatherface, and the Collector's driving the car. That would be kind of awesome, actually.
And the Leatherface is the beast in the boot.
Hannibal works alone, though.
Has he ever been in a situation where he's had the option of a sidekick?
Well, look, if you go by the TV shows slash also the books, because they run TV shows, bar a couple of gender role flips, the actual storylines are pretty on point. There is the kind of the assistant or the right hand woman of Musasaki, who actually helps him hunt down all the guys that murdered and made him eat his sister, and she actually is
Grutas.
Her name eludes me at the minute, but
Grutas.
Yeah. She's kind of like a sidekick for a little bit on the vengeance run of things. So
I'm going to have to say I can't call this one. I think you boys have got the upper hand in both intelligence. I think my boy's got the upper hand in brute strength. It's all down to the scenario. And I'm just trying to think who has more scenarios against them. And I hate to say it, I think it's me.
I would agree.
I hate to say it, but I think I may have...
If we had you in a face-to-face, full-on, just scrap...
If this was in an empty room, my boy's got it.
Yeah, because I feel just the amount of damage that Leatherface is able to take will tip the hat in your favour, but both of these guys won't do a straight-in, run-in fight. It's...
I want to know what the viewers are thinking.
I'm actually...
Who do you think?
Yeah.
The people who are watching, who do you think would win in this showdown? Leatherface versus the Collector versus Hannibal Lecter.
I think if you look at the Collector MO and Hannibal's MO, it's very counter personality for them to like run in and just have a face-to-face scrap.
Hannibal would have to say something to do his damage. He has to talk to enable to inflict damage. And if he gets struck right away, he's at a disadvantage.
Depends on what mood he's in. Sometimes he doesn't want to try and mindfuck them. He'll just come in and go samurai on their ass.
Oh, he's just gonna cut someone's face off and wear it. Hey, they have that in common.
If he considers like what the Collector's been doing as an insult, or the fact that the Collector even has the gall to try and imply that he's smarter than Hannibal, Hannibal will take that quite personally, and he'll cut his cheeks off and eat them for lunch.
I'm just picturing like cooking tips and fashion stylings with Hannibal and Leatherface. It's the new Netflix series.
We're right for the dead
First,
guy.
you need someone who knows how to do a very good fine cut fillet.
Just go slowly up the sternum. You don't want them to be a spurter.
Yeah. We've all seen Terrifier.
Okay.
We all know how badly that goes if you just rip them straight up.
Okay, I'm going to concede and say it needs to be certain circumstances where my boy can win, where Leatherface can win. So I'm going to concede. I'm going to let you two guys chat it out and see who would win one-on-one.
Okay.
Collector versus Hannibal.
I don't feel Hannibal is going to be as easily lulled into the Collector traps as the average Joe, because he's a lot more self-aware of what's going on situationally.
But if the booby traps where he is already. You know?
Even if he booby traps where he is already, I don't think he'll fall for it. I mean, look at the amount of times, half the time he's been arrested has been on his own will. He's been able to get out. So he's been able to get out and go out of every situation whenever he's really felt like it, outside when he was locked up in the glass cage downstairs, which he still found a way out of.
With his hands in his pockets and try not to trip anything.
Yeah, I think he probably can. I feel it's going to go to I feel it's going to go to a face to face with Hannibal and the pardon the pun.
So
I feel it's going to get.
Let's put intelligence to one side. Let's just come down to an actual hand-to-hand melee combat.
All I have to throw on the table in relation to that is, though we've seen the Collector scrap in one or two of the movies, and he does seem quite strong, Hannibal's a fucking samurai.
And the irony is in this situation, my boy wins.
Yeah. In this situation, but your boy's already been eliminated out of the equation.
He didn't get to the final round.
Your boy's still running around in the field outside somewhere looking for someone. He doesn't know what's going on.
Now, is it actually confirmed if the Collector is just a man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but you look. Even though I'm still amazed that when I found that he's the bad guy from Crocodile Dundee.
Sorry,
what?
I tell a lie. It's not ever confirmed that he is just a man, but it is very much never implied that he is anything but.
It's his eyes.
The mole. I'm not disputing the mole eyes thing. It's a bit weird, but I mean, they could be contacts. They could be. He could be slightly mutated or something like that. You never see the face, like. And if you look at the contortion of the mask on the face, like a normal human face shouldn't really fit in there overly comfortably.
Yeah.
That's a very thick mask. It looks like it's made out of the spray stuff they put on truck beds.
Oh, bed liner.
Yeah.
Bed liner, yeah. That's what it looks like it's made out of. So that mask will be really tough.
Yeah. Except if I don't know if you're aware of how samurais work, he's not going to cut your mask. It's pretty much the neck area below the mask is where he's going to be hitting.
The other factor you've got to bring into this now is agility. This is what it's coming down to. It's like, yes, I think a young Hannibal would have the upper hand. But he's an older Hannibal. And the Collector, he is an athletic, spry guy.
True. Hannibal's a fucking samurai.
But he's also considerably slower than he used to be.
For a samurai.
And he was only a practicing samurai up through his teenage years, as I remember.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Well,
What's
I'll
samurai?
put it to you this way. The Collector is one young, spry man who's a bit of a psychotic guy and likes to murder people. The majority of the CIA police force that he murdered the faces off of 8 and wore one of them out of a hotel so he could get to freedom were all young, spry guys as well who wound up murdered, fucked, or missing their facial features.
So, right. Somebody's just made a good comment. Are we talking about older Lecter?
We'll go middle of the road Lecter. So not kiddie Lecter, but not young man.
In his 50s.
Red Dragon Lecter?
Red Dragon Silence of the Lambs Lecter.
Right, okay. So yeah, he's still definitely imposing.
Yeah, he's not ancient and decrepit. He'd be in his mid 40s, 50s probably, I would imagine, in those set of movies.
I think what it was, I think if it was hand-to-hand combat, the Collector's got this. I think if it was weaponized combat, Hannibal has this.
Who's a cannibal and likes eating people and tend to have things that you can slice someone with because it kind of goes with the MO.
Eat me.
I don't know.
That would be the Collector's dying words.
I don't know. I think because I'm out, I kind of have to call this. All right, so let me put this into a position where they're both in their prime as killers.
Okay.
And
I think what Hannibal has working for him too is he doesn't look really like a dangerous guy. So some guard might be let down a little bit there. And then that's usually when Hannibal's at his most dangerous.
but
Who's this adorably endearing and fantastically articulate old man? I'm just going to go kill him. Uh-oh.
I've just realised how much of a great movie this would be, Hannibal versus the Collector.
You have no idea. Or if Hannibal was the one who broke into the McAllister house.
That's why Kevin's like this. He's missing his cheeks.
Oh.
It would be a great. It would be a great. Like, it'd be a great horror thriller because I see it being more of a battle of the minds and devices than a battle of the thing. If you were going movie format, I think when we're on the realistic run-in, we're landing where we're landing now.
I do not think Hannibal would be able to manipulate the Collector that way. I think he knows what he wants.
I don't think he's going to have him on a mindfuck scenario. I think it's going to be him just being wily, incredibly acute when it comes to his thought processes, and he'll just dance around him a little bit until he makes one little fuck up, and then
I've got to call it. I've got to call it, but I am kind of steering towards the Collector.
Ding ding ding.
I am. I think he's always prepared. He's always
more
prepared.
than Hannibal. He got thrown in a box by the guy he kidnapped from movie 1.
And he has another sequel coming out, so he obviously gets out.
No, the sequel is him in the box. It's what your man does to him. They've already said this.
But Hannibal was also taken out by his own arrow. So
yes, that's true. I'm not disputing that.
They've both had dumb moments. I'm going to have to go for the Collector.
Okay.
I am. I love Hannibal so much more. He's got so much more to him as a character, and he's considerably more interested
to see
in
what the chat think of this. I'm begrudgingly accepting. Fine.
I'm going to have to say it's the Collector because I have so much more love for Leatherface and Hannibal. But brass tacks, I think he's slightly got the upper hand. I do think he would get it. If it's controversial, please
I'm literally ringing Superstar Beatdown about this. And I'm going to be like, sorry lads, I know you've probably never heard of us, but there's a debate going on, and I'm going to need some actual video footage.
See, comments here. Taylor Skerlock says, I feel like if Hannibal has enough info on the Collector beforehand, he could manipulate
She's got 2 movies to work with.
Again, that's the... Exactly. We only had one... Well, we only had Manhunter before that, but Silence of the Lambs, it's like, I think you are right, but nobody knows nothing about the Collector.
Well, I mean...
In Silence of the Lambs...
look, I'm not trying to sway your decision, but the cat burglar guy figured it out pretty fucking quick. I mean, the cat burglar guy's had his... essentially, if you do think about it, the cat burglar guy has had his number twice, because he literally only caught him by a fluke. He let his guard down when he got into the van out at the end of movie 1.
I forget his name. What was the character's name?
It's gone out of my head
because he was like he was just an awesome final guy.
So good. He was like the only guy, really. Do you know what I mean? Everyone else was already caught in the traps. You never really met. You got a brief interlude with the family having dinner at the start, just so you got a gist of what was going on.
I do feel bad, but I'm sticking with it. I feel bad.
It's your call. It's your call, man.
I feel bad.
If you like being wrong online live, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that.
I see your tactics.
I like this comment here from Chrissy M. What about John Kramer versus the Collector? How's that going to work out those fight? Why don't you come over? No, why don't you come over? No, why don't you come over?
Number one, that phone call is never going to happen because the Collector's still yet to say a fucking word in 2 movies. So it's just going to be John Kramer.
He says one word.
And he also turns up uninvited. Manhunter is also based on Hannibal 2, right? Yes, that was the original adaptation of Red Dragon. And with Brian Cox as Hannibal, who I, to this day, think did a fabulous job. I liked that kind of silly Hannibal that he played in that. He had a lot more fun rather than just using mind games like Hopkins does.
I'm actually so angry with all of this. I'm gonna fire my smoke machine.
Fuming.
Yeah.
You get it, you vape.
Bad.
Oh no, I don't vape. I have an actual smoke machine.
If you're about who is the better killer, then yeah, the Collector's third place, no question. I'm sorry. It's there. The information you've provided. It's all I can do. I'm sorry.
The Collector's like a psychotic Adam Savage.
I love that. There was a brief period in my life where I actually looked like the love child of the 2 of them. Like if Adam and Jamie were to have a child, I would have been it. Yeah. Now let me shoot an episode for 60 minutes showing you how I made this game.
My current reading material.
I need to get
every tool's a hammer.
Every tool's a hammer.
Brave enough.
I just need to finish the Death Note, then I'm straight on to Adam Savage. Oh,
are you reading the graphic novel, is it?
Yeah, I've got the whole lot. So
delicious.
I keep meaning to read it. So, but I have time to read things now. Oh, I yes, round 1. Round 1. I feel bad, but I'm using theory to.
The evening is young. We have other categories.
We should. I'm just angry because I was like, this is the one. If there's a guaranteed round I have, this is the one. I won't lie to you. Once I got Leatherface out of the picture, I was like, I got this.
Right. Tom, introduce category 2.
Monsters. These are creatures, monsters, unkillable beings that aren't quite supernatural. For my choice, I have Jason Voorhees. But not just Jason Voorhees, but Jason from Jason X, the super cyborg Uber Jason.
You gave it the wrong name. It's Jason in Space!
Space!
So, yeah. He's pretty good. I mean, he's cheesy as all hell. The film is a serious guilty
Jason
pleasure.
In Space still has one of my favorite kills out of any of the Friday the 13th movie franchises, because I used to love the sleeping bag kill, and then I got a double sleeping bag kill, and I was like, well, winning.
So, Johnny,
Me?
which of these beautiful bastards on the screen right now have you
I've
gone
brought
for?
the indemnable, the catastrophic, the fantastically intelligent as well, and the always prepared Predator.
Going aliens.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, the hunter. They can take out an alien reasonably easy if you've seen some of the movies.
The which?
Get to the job.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah,
job.
if you look at like the AVP movies, there's one of those guys that fucked up an alien pretty. A xenomorph, like, is that what you mean?
Did a pretty good job. Spacing, yes, spacing. I like
Spacing
that. Right.
in Jace.
Okay, so who I've gone for, if anybody does recognise him in the screen,
I actually don't.
This is Dr. Chandler from Hellraiser 2, who willingly allowed himself to be converted into a Cenobite and then was also taken by the Leviathan, the creator of the Cenobite race. So he is an amalgam of Cenobite and Leviathan, who single-handedly, within a matter of moments, is able to take out all of our favourite Cenobites, Pinhead, Butterball, Chatterer, all gone in moments. So that's my boy. That's who I've gone for in this boogeyman / monster face-off.
I've got to win.
You've got to win.
Where's this battle taking place? Is it taking place in like Cenobite world?
I don't think it matters.
Oh, it does.
I think it does.
Oh, okay. I have the perfect setup for this one. Have you seen
Yes.
which is set in space?
Yes. Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
You see where I'm going? This is the playground for this battle. We have the entire ship to move around, obviously. So we can be Jason on the ship. We can have the Predator on the ship. We can have Chanad Cenobite on the ship. How's this gonna go?
I'm intrigued because essentially Chanard has the creator of the Cenobites in him.
Well, he's kind of a pre-cum drip out of the Cenobites, because there is obviously something very phallic about that stuck on his head there. I could think of better places, but the bottom line is, with my guy, if I were to win this, the Leviathan would have no longer use of him, and he would in turn be destroyed. So if I win,
You lose.
I still lose. But we can overlook that one. That
Can we overlook that one?
Down. Oh, I don't know. Because
Kind of painted himself in a corner there.
Yeah, if you look at his Hellraiser 2, once he has done his job and the Leviathan has no longer use for him, he literally just rips his head off and pisses off back to the hell. I'm like, okay.
I was hoping
I was
hoping this took place in Cenobite world because the Predator's super intelligent and he would have just scanned the lament box and realized that if I close the lament box while I'm in Cenobite world, I just shut down the Leviathan. Win. That was my Hail Mary. And then I'll just
with those gloves.
What? Yeah, with those gloves.
Did you picture him trying to close that box with the big hands?
Okay. So here's what happens. They're on the ship. The Predator has found Jason. My boy sees what's going on, and he comes to find out what's going on.
And Jason just starts hacking away.
That is Jason's MO. That really is his MO.
I'm probably Jason sees 3 dots on. I'm fucking. Oh shit! Which one should I go for first? I'd probably just get rid of the big guy. Okay, Jason sees 3 dots because he's also a big lumbering fucking mess of a fucking human. Do you know what I mean? He's not renowned for speed and or prowess.
He's also part cyborg now, so he's
Cool.
upgraded.
He still sees 3 dots arrive on his head. Pew!
He's Jason.
Yeah.
2.0.
Cool. He sees 3 dots appear on his head. Pew!
Somebody said, "Can the Cenobites? Can you even kill a Cenobite?" I thought you could only banish them. No, you can definitely kill Cenobites.
Yeah, it's just
Even though
no one they've run into has been. What was the one that took place in the nightclub? They fucked up a Cenobite in that movie.
That was the third movie.
Yeah, which is god awful. But
I didn't hate it. I liked the whole concept of all the just making new Cenobites with the dude with the camera through his head and the guy with the barbed wire and petrol, the Molotov cocktails. That was cool.
Yeah,
I like the CD guy.
The CD guy. We'll talk about the CD guy.
What
it was replaced by Blu-ray guy later.
Guys, we're in the middle of a battle. I've just shot Jason in the face with a rather large proton laser. I remember.
That is one of the Predator's first moves. Is from afar. He is a hunter.
Yeah, he has range. I'll give him that.
Yeah, and I've probably fired that explosive disc thing as well, just to be safe, because you look big and kind of like me a little bit.
I hadn't
But
considered
he's also
that.
got metal, so you can probably deflect it.
Really?
He has a lot of parts of his body were replaced by metal.
His head?
His mask and part of his skull was rebuilt.
I have seen that laser beam blow a hole in a fucking metal wall, like.
But I think you're overlooking one of the Predator's other finest weapons, which is the razor disc.
I just threw that. Do you remember?
That would cause significant damage. I don't think if it was to aim at his chest, I don't think it'd go through him, but it would definitely hell of a lot of damage.
Well, if you remember correctly, I just said, due to the fact that thing looks big as a house made of metal and kind of also looks like me, I would probably throw a double. I'd shoot the laser and fire a disc, just to be safe. Worst case scenario, disc gets embedded in the wall. I can get it later.
But if you look at Jason's biggest strength, which is his determination, everything, and he will use he's one of the most creative killers in the whole horror universe. Whatever is there, he will use to kill you with.
I will
it's
say
like,
that.
oh, look, there's a salt shaker. I'm going to push it so far into your mouth it comes out the. That's Jason's thought process. Right, I'll just use this. So he does have that creativity.
If
he gets up close with Predator, things would get interesting.
In relation to the close-up,
Predator's also
in relation to the close-up conversation, where are we landing on my laser beam to the head idea?
To the head?
That's where we're shooting the laser beam. You see three dots arrive in your head and pew.
But his MO is also taking a pretty big hit, which looks like would kill anything else on the planet, and then he gets up again.
That's why I threw the disc.
He's done that before.
I mean, it's the classic Hollywood horror thing. Hit him, he's down. He goes, the killer or Victor goes over to stand over him. Jason wakes up again, pops up, and then you have your close-up combat.
We're at. I have thrown a spinning disc of death, as well as previously having fired a laser at your head. There's a big explosion. We are yet to establish if Jason is alive, a puddle of mush, or what. And where's the Cenobite landing in all of this dilemma?
I was just thinking one other attack as well that the Predator has, which is the net.
Yes, he's got way more attacks than what you're thinking of, dude. There's fucking buttloads. I'm yet to delve into.
He's got that spear.
He's got the spear. There's the proton laser. There's the. You're forgetting he can go fucking invisible. I haven't even brought that into the mix yet.
Yeah.
I just saw the big guy and went, I'll probably just shoot that. That looks like it could be an issue. We have a big explosion. What's the Cenobite doing? We have to get you in the mix now.
But there's also the fact, though, if you look at how strong Jason is, at the end of Jason X, he falls from the ship and does not burn up in the Earth's atmosphere. He still survives that fall.
Okay.
So the dude can, if you imagine what kind of impact that would be, and he still stands up.
We're getting off of this round of the fight for a minute. There's been an explosion. We're yet to establish is Jason alive, dead, or affected. The Cenobite's been watching all of this. What's going to happen?
Well, okay. Let's bring my boy into it. Let's have a think.
We can get back to the explosion, win, lose, or draw in a moment.
I think, as far as range goes, your boy's got it. My guy's got range, but it's pretty much as far as he can shoot the tentacles out of his hand. So that's pretty undetermined how far. So you've definitely won on range. Jason he's all melee. He doesn't use weapons. He doesn't throw anything. So all of my guy's attacks are projectiles. Oh, they are from his from the tentacles. So he would definitely have a hand on each of you. Giggity. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Okay.
But the range of weapons within those little hentai tentacles, I mean, God.
We know where this is going.
Woohoo! Yeah. I think the tentacles would do more damage to the Predator than they would to Jason, as all of his that we see are all cutting weapons. They're all hooks, knives. There's nothing really overly mechanical there. And I think Uber Jason would fend those off very well.
Predator's got a metal suit as well. You're aware he wears armor, yeah?
His body
Depends
he's
on the
not 100%.
Depends on the Predator.
Yeah, that's kind of different because sometimes he has that net over a bare chest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the original one, yeah. But he also has the precision to remove that armor if need be.
So it is removable armor.
So Jason's isn't. Uber Jason's.
So?
But is he 100% mechanical?
I don't think so. Okay, will we jump to the chat for a minute? Because there are
sure.
some. I'll let you kind of handle the chat normally, so I'll let you do it. But there's some interesting inputs in the last couple of messages.
All right, okay. Let's go back. Can you even kill a Cenobite? No, I've read that one. I mean, I think the Predator would blow itself up on the ship. The second he thinks he's losing and sucks, the other two killers are out in space.
That's my other Hail Mary. I'll just let you know.
I think in that scenario, neither of our guys need to breathe.
Neither does my guy.
Yeah, but your guys are going to be blown up.
The
ship.
You can.
The best killer Jason X is the liquid nitrogen.
But you can freeze into a massive block of ice while floating through space.
You would be incapacitated.
Yeah, you mightn't be necessarily dead, but you're.
Jason would definitely be incapacitated. My guy could just walk back into hell.
True. Although in saying that, your guy also has a Hail Mary where he'll just explode everything and then pull his head apart.
only when the Leviathan. It will not stop until his mission is complete. So that's where we go. All right, I think Jason and the Cenobite advantage because Jason doesn't really seem to respond to pain, and the Cenobite will like it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, but the Predator also has this amazing ability to heal. You know, if you remember the first movie where he puts the goop on his cuts and he's like, "Rrr!" So yeah, he is more
what's
mortal.
More dangerous, the guy who's just impervious to pain, the guy who likes pain, or the guy who's able to take a buttload of pain and go, fuck it, and get fucking moving and get killing?
One thing that they've never explored in the Hellraiser movies, as far as I'm aware, is that these guys are obviously get their pleasure from pain.
But is it also receiving
they
pain?
Are. Oh yeah. Remember Angelique when?
I just thought that's where you were going with it.
You remember the third one with Angelique, and she gets her chest cut open, and that chick orgasms. It's quite a honey scene. But I was wondering, would love affect the Cenobites?
Famous person.
Would they have
a famous person once saying, "What's love got to do with it?"
If you went up to like Pinhead and just started squeezing his cheeks and going, "Oh, look at you, look at you!"
Oh, are you talking like in Final Fantasy VII? If you use holy magic on a demon, is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we use something, well, even if that is an offensive tactic that would work on the Cenobite, I don't think
Jason is emotionless.
Except for the love of his mother that drives him to come back from the dead repeatedly and murder a load of people.
It's kind of sweet in a weird way.
Like he's a vengeance demon, so he can't be emotionless by definition. Predators aren't emotionless, but they're fairly trained to not lean into their emotions and think.
They strive to adapt to the situation.
Yeah. They're the collector of this scenario.
But the other upper hand of the Predator is they have access to weapons, like you mentioned earlier, which cannot be compared in either's universe. But I do believe that your opening fight with the giant, the Razor Disc, with the Razor Disc, I think that would do some heavy damage. I think Jason would be out of that airlock very easy because he doesn't have the range. I think Predator will take down Jason first because of his slow, because he's just the brute strength. I think there's more of
the laser's going to hit him in the head, and before he even has a chance, if he still has a head, before he even has a chance to register what's going on, that disc is going to crack him in the chest, and he's gone out the side wall.
I don't think he'd kill him, but like you might have him out in an airlock, freezing in the cold of space.
I feel like you could stop Jason by just incapacitating him. If you can like trap him. If you can't get
there's
to
also
you.
that, as you mentioned, there's also the web meshing thing that, like, if he hits that with Jason, that's gone through some significantly tough materials. The only thing we've seen Uber Jason be 100% impervious to is like bullet fire and things like that. I know he's virtually bulletproof.
And falling to earth and burning up in the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, certain metals can handle being burnt up in the atmosphere. You know what I mean? I do think it's going to end up, regardless of you or I do think somewhere or another Jason is going to end up just a floating ice cube through space.
He's going to be put in the naughty corner.
His biggest disadvantage is probably emotional. He can get cocky. Because I'm always wondering, at the end of Predator, if he never took his armor off, would he have taken out Arnold?
Well, the armor off wasn't so much of a cocky thing. It was pride. It was pride because he had thrown all of his typical hunter things at Arnold, and it wasn't cockiness. It was pride and respect that this guy has shown me such a good fight that he deserves a hand-to-hand battle with me, not a
respect.
Yeah.
What if he didn't take that into consideration? He kept all his stuff on and just he took off his cannon, his helmet, which probably would have helped with that log.
But Arnie was unarmored.
That's the way the Predators work.
Yeah, but
Jason,
that code can be seen as a weakness.
Well, you see, it's actually, that was the ingenious part of Arnie's plan, was that he realized, if I keep coming at this guy with weapons, he's going to keep coming at me with weapons, and that's not going to go well. So he just threw the idea out there of, you want to fucking have a go, man? Let's go mano a mano. And then the Predator was like, okay, fair enough. And then the Predator didn't realize that Arnold was a Terminator, and all of that shit happened.
What if he does the same thing with Jason, and he strips down the weaponry and the helmet and just goes mano a mano with Jason? Who do you think would win?
Jason's a walking robot, as you've already pointed out, so he's going to view him instantaneously as a mechanical threat.
Perhaps if it was just normal Jason, I think that situation would happen.
Normal Jason might have actually even got the jump on him, because I don't think he would have registered normal Jason as an actual threat. He would have viewed him as a dead human initially.
Oh, Jason would be invisible to the Predator if he was wearing the armor.
No, Jason's a mechanical object. No, but
exactly. He has no heat signature. The Predator sees through thermal imaging.
Cool. He just walked in front of me.
But yeah,
his vision is based on movement.
He walked in front of Arnold Schwarzenegger covered in mud. That worked.
Yeah, I don't think it works.
Jason covered in mud.
I don't think it works that way. Like, that thermal vision is a choice.
Yeah, he can turn it off.
That's not the way they view stuff. The thermal vision is for while they're hunting.
I'm standing up for you here, Tom.
and also, regardless, I appreciate the thermal vision, Hail Mary. It was very good. Just unfortunately, by the battle that you put out initially, Jason isn't hiding where I need to find him. He walked right at me. My laser beam to the head was the Predator South Park equivalent of, it's coming right at me. Phew.
Okay. I think we have to call it. We're an hour in now. So I from the two that have said, I do think the Predator's got it. Not easily, but I think he's definitely... I don't think there's much arguing to say if it was the Predator and Uber Jason, that the Predator has that.
I still love you, Jason.
I love Jason too. I literally have a signed machete behind me. It kills me to do this.
So now, Tom, it's for you to be the judge now between the Predator and Dr. Chanard. That's what we need you to do.
Well,
now, again, the Predator has an abundance of weapons which would definitely have a big impact on his physical body. Now, you need to try and put Chanard in a position where the Leviathan, having him as an extension, is completely useless.
Me? Well,
that's what the Predator has to do with Chanard. That's the only way he can be defeated.
Can I not just chop him up?
How would you get to him?
You still have your plasma cannon.
Yeah, I don't need to get to him. I have a plasma caster. And I have a net that literally dissolves and cuts stuff.
Right, now bearing in mind we are on a ship and you would need a great distance. I think the range that my boy has
is more than a laser cannon?
Would be equal.
Your boys
would be equal.
Okay.
If you're on the ship from Bloodlines, there are no incredibly long corridors.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so your man
So I think as far as ranged weapons goes, this has to be somewhat face to face.
Okay. So dude, you can shoot that plasma caster close. Like literally, if anything comes at him, all he has to do. Also, that plasma caster works independently of the Predator. It just shoots at anything that moves.
You use that on my boy, he'll just get a hard on.
Yeah. So your tentacle arm, which is your major offensive maneuver at me at the moment, comes at me. The plasma caster registers that as a threatening maneuver. Aim and shoot. That's your tentacle arm gone.
But what I'm saying is, my guy can knock off your parrot gun quite easy.
How?
Because he also has projectile attacks. You'd have to fire off 6 shots, unless you go for the arms, then at the same time. So let's say my boy's got 1 arm and you've lost your gun.
Okay.
Okay? Dude needs to get up close. You need to go. So I've got that. You've got your fucking huge Wolverine claw. You could definitely do some damage to me.
I've still
got
the nets because the net never got used on Jason, so I'll probably fire the net, which cuts stuff and dissolves stuff.
And my boy would. He has his blades. He has hell blades.
Yeah, this is a substance that dissolves things. What are hell blades?
That's what come out of the end of the tentacles, which do reproduce.
Okay, but
so I've only got
are you
one
saying
arm.
the net hasn't landed on him at all? He just has dissolved an arm or two?
It would definitely approach the front of his body. I think that would definitely have a big impact.
Okay, so
there.
I fucked up the front of him a bit. And what's the damage on the arms?
Well, he only has the one left.
Okay.
So
I feel like I should be rolling dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just get it.
Yeah. That might be the approach.
Reverse.
That might be the approach we come at it the next time. We'll do negative and positive dice rolls, and we'll do it like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's
because it is essentially we are RPGing scenarios. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. But also, my best turnout of this situation is to draw. That is my best situation right now. You win or we draw. That's it.
Okay. I am. Isn't that explosive device detachable? He doesn't have to blow himself up. You can take off the wristband and go.
Again, I do have some form of teleportation abilities. I can just flop back.
Okay. Well, I'm invisible now.
Okay. Invisibility would be an asset in this face-off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm invisible now. I have now thrown one of my discs behind you to the wall that's behind you. And I would assume in about 4 to 5 seconds that wall is going to blow up, leaving yet another gaping hole of suckiness out of the ship.
But during this time, my little blades will have hacked away at you because there are flesh parts exposed, and you do leave a breadcrumb trail of glowing blood.
Okay.
So I would be able to get a rough estimation where you are to attack.
But are you getting the rough estimation of my explosives device that's taking out a wall behind you, not actually you?
You'd have to be wearing it for it to be invisible.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's invisible. I'm saying I've thrown one of those explosive spin blades to the wall behind you.
All right, okay.
Into the wall behind you, or through the wall behind you, depending on what way you want to register the blade. Or through you, depending.
That would damage the rear, but it's...
Well, I've taken out Jason by blowing out a wall.
I'm going to have to give this up. To be honest, you've on a really obvious attack, and I'm really glad that you've missed it. But we're going to have to put this down to Tom.
I kind of feel like it's going to be a draw, because if the Predator gets beaten down to an inch of his life, he's going to activate his wrist nuke. Mm-hmm. That's going to go off.
Goodbye, ship.
But the Hellraiser guy can leave, right? He can just dimensionally leave out of there, so he won't technically be killed either. So
I'm pretty sure
it would be kind of a hollow victory.
I'm pretty sure he'll get blown up in a nuke, though.
If he can blip out before the nuke goes off, because that thing has a loud countdown. Come on. Beep, beep, beep. You have to know.
The Cenobite also needs to know what's going on. Like, it's not like it looks like a fucking bomb countdown. It's a bunch of random shapes.
Arnold figured it out.
That's Arnold's. Look.
Right, okay. Because I felt so bad last time, I'm going to tell Johnny the correct way to attack. You've got one shot with a parrot gun.
You told me you took my parrot gun.
No. Go back to the original start of this one-on-one.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, you shoot the tentacle above my head.
Is that not what I did?
No, you took one of the arms out.
I said shoot what moves. That's the way the fucking parrot gun works. It shoots, but like I have no control over the parrot gun. Something comes at me, it shoots it. That's what it does.
Maybe that tentacle isn't moving.
Well, it has to move if it's gone above his fucking head. Are you talking about the big penis dick tentacle? That's always moving.
And it's like small.
Yeah, but the most mobile part of him is the hentai tentacle.
Okay.
Ow, my dick!
Okay. So are you essentially saying the way for me to have won this one-on-one is if I shot you in the head dick?
Yes.
Okay.
That needs to be on a bumper sticker.
Okay. Tom, I'm going to shoot the Cenobite in the head dick.
All right, Tom.
We've
put our arguments forward. We've put our cases forward. Tom, call it.
I'm still going to say it's a draw, because can still potentially figure out that bomb is going to go off and just leave. And if his body is blown up, does he still exist in hell? He goes back to hell, right?
I say Chanad is an extension of the Leviathan.
Yeah. So I'm killing the meat puppet, or I'm not killing the actual...
Yeah, you're taking out...
Yeah, but I wasn't pitted against Leviathan. I was pitted against the meat puppet.
Yeah, you took out Yoda, not Frank Oz.
Basically, you've just turned him into Bear Grylls without his multi-tool.
Yeah.
Which is nothing!
The Predator won by default, but it's hollow victory. So.
But a hollow victory, victory I'm willing to take.
Yeah. He's Aaron Ralston without his multi-tool now, so he's like... If you've not seen 28 Days... okay, not 28 Days, 100 Hours.
Toronto Freddy said, but remember, Jason always comes back. He may come back, but he's not going to come back where I am, and that's not my fucking problem. Win.
That'll be in the next movie.
Wherever he thaws out, unless I've got the worst mapping plan of space ever, I shouldn't have to worry about that issue. I've dealt with it.
But if the Predator hops in a rowboat on Crystal Lake and just starts floating out in the middle, then Jason will pop up behind him.
And he's looking for it, especially if the Predator's getting his fucking alien fuck on.
Just let his dreads tickle the water. Yeah. Oh, Potato Tom.
All right. Third, supernatural creatures. These are demons, ghosts, what have you. I picked, or actually, you guys go first.
I'll let Johnny start this one.
Freddy Krueger, because he's already picked. Here's why I picked Freddy Krueger. I was like, okay, Tom picked a demon, that finds human people and gives them a demon STI. Freddy's already dead. Okay, that's that problem resolved. And you picked death, and Freddy's already dead and has survived death by turning into like a nightmare demon. So I think I have that issue resolved. That's literally the reason I picked Freddy. And I was like, I feel I should rep someone. And I was like, I have a Freddy t-shirt. So I was like, well.
So as Johnny said, I picked death from the Final Destination franchise. Because how the hell can you even fight that?
I don't need to.
How can you fight that? Johnny's got some good arguments here. So that's my boy. Tom, who have you gone for? The little old lady in the screen there.
The sex demon from It Follows.
What did you call it, Mike?
The ST demon.
Winning.
That's it. It's an ST demon. That's what it should be called.
For ST demon in college.
No, I really want to see a Jason versus Predator movie. Yes. So, let's get this underway. Main argument here is that he's already cheated death. And the whole concept of the Final Destination movies is that death is coming after the people that cheated death. He left them the fuck alone until then.
Sorry, I was getting my...
It's because they cheated death that he's there.
Well, you're only getting death mad now.
And that's where we shall be discussing things.
Oh, I could have dressed up as fucking Freddy. God damn.
Do it. Do it.
I got the claw.
You got the claw.
Okay.
You
got the body. I got the body.
I'm essentially locked in the studio till the show finishes, so I can't do the shirt. Give me a minute.
Are we going to see those nipples? Now, Tom, you've gone for the ST demon. I'm just going to call it that because it sounds great. Now, we have to be in a position, both Freddy Krueger and Death, that have been
intimate.
Fucked.
Hey,
by
funny story. While trying to put my headphones back on while wearing the Freddy claw, I see what you were saying about the Predator trying to fucking do the lament box now.
Got it.
So, I have questions.
Okay.
Yeah, hi. Who would bang Freddy to contract the ST demon? I know that's not what this conversation's about, but I want to discuss this avenue.
Well, Freddy is a powerful demon, and power is sexy.
Weird fact. When Nightmare on Elm Street first came out, Robert Englund started receiving copious amounts of marriage requests and sexual requests, all on the basis.
I love the fact
he
that he's like a sex god. I love it. Ooh, suits you, madam.
He did become a sex god in regards to all these women that like, just kill me, just do me and kill me.
It's because of the way the hand. I guarantee it's because of the way the hand came up in the bathroom, in the toilet.
Possibly, but yeah, actually to Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. I can't wear the hat and do the headphones at the same time, so the audience are going to just have to appreciate I tried. But I got the claw, so.
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong all these years. I mean, I think technically, if you cheat death, you have fucked death. So let's use that analogy. Okay. So, death versus a dream demon and a sexually transmitted demon. The playing field is on.
Well, it's got to be happening in a dream world somewhere for me to even be involved in the mix.
Freddy got pulled into the waking world, had intercourse, and now has...
I want to say something now really, really unpleasant. To defeat Tom's ST demon, there is a way to do it. A way to defeat that demon. And you're not going to like it. Freddy has the best chance of beating that demon. What he would have to do is, because he has these otherworldly strengths, now the physical capabilities of the ST demon are nothing phenomenal. They are stronger, than what you would expect for human strength. It does have its own strength. But here's how you defeat the ST demon. It comes after Freddy. Freddy allows this to happen, and he sexually forces himself upon the ST demon.
Possessing the demon like the homoerotic sequel?
He fucks the demon.
Yeah, I had a funny feeling we were going to say fuck the demon, to be honest.
Now, the demon has to basically, in an endless loop, hunt itself. Am I wrong?
I don't think it works that way.
Nobody explored that in the movie. Well, what happens if you fuck the ST demon?
I figure he's breaking you in half before you get a chance.
How would you break in half something that's unbreakable?
Trust me, unrequited sex is not beyond Freddy Krueger's MO.
No, if anything, unrequited sex is literally part of his MO.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure he'd fuck a demon.
I won't lie to you, out of all the stuff that he's done, I didn't think that was going to be the bit that would win me around.
You know what? Why do I have a feeling that this does exist somewhere on on the internet?
Oh, there's a dark
very
Reddit
dirty.
fan page somewhere. You know it. I know it. You know.
But yeah, it's there. Freddy bangs the ST demon. I mean, you know, rule 34. If it exists, there's porn of it.
Yeah, that's
To the dark web.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not being established if the ST demon can actually be killed, but putting it into that endless loop, that's the way it would have to be approached.
Well, that's what I'm going to
assuming
do.
sex with it is possible.
Well, it does have a physical presence. I mean, it's able to physically interact with who it's stalking.
You just dragged a dream demon from the dream world into the real world. I think anything's possible.
You know, let's not talk about physics.
You literally ripped the fabric of reality.
But my boy is pissed at Freddy because he cheated
Yeah,
death.
he did, yeah. So badly.
Several movies.
So many movies worth that they were there before the death thing existed. So,
But that's the thing. I mean, if you look at both franchises now, Nightmare on Elm Street is by far the better franchise. I mean, Final Destination. I only want to see the big escaping death situation, and then just fast forward until the Rube Goldberg style death. So it's like all the rest of it. Do not care at all. With It Follows, I really like the concept. I thought that was a fun idea. And obviously, Freddy's the man. Freddy is the man. But death, it's like I cannot be killed. How is death fully escaped? I mean, I'm struggling to remember if anybody actually survives.
but Freddy also can't be killed as long as there's any memory of Freddy or any inkling of Freddy about Freddy can exist.
Using Freddy versus Jason law.
I'm using Freddy law.
Well, Freddy law. Well, if you look at Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, which was originally intended to be the closer, yeah, they pull him out of the dream world and stick dynamite in his stomach. That did a pretty good job.
Yeah, death can't do that though.
Because it has no physical being.
And it also has no way of
But
dragging me out of the dream world.
Death doesn't sleep.
Neither does Freddy.
None of our boys do.
No, none of them do. That's why they're so terrifying.
I don't know. I mean, another.
It's why I love the It Follows demon because of the way it worked. It wasn't just like nighttime stalkings of this weird little monster after you. It was like it could be a nice granny during the daytime. It could be a kid from play school. It could whatever the fuck they decide to. That demon decides to look like. It's it's there. It's very cool.
But there's also the issue that it walks in a straight line, as I believe. It's always a straight line. Can you not just do like just put up a boundary?
There's someone in the chat there. I don't think the logic of it works out, but he said Death could wake up a Freddy victim, kill the victim the second he or she wakes up, then kill Freddy who has been dragged into the real world via the victim.
There'd have to be a mutual agreement there, and Death has no communication. It's like saying, look, when you've got hold of him, I'll wake you up. Death can't do that.
Not with that attitude.
All Death can do is kill him. So
that's it there, yeah. Death is more of a inevitability.
Wait, when Freddy kills somebody, isn't Death already there?
Well, maybe that could also be one of the reasons that Death has such an issue with Freddy, because he's thrown things out of whack. He's killing stuff that's not on Death's list. Freddy's working independent.
It's like, come on, it's my day off.
Are you quoting Family Guy there? Even after Freddy's killed, he comes back in your nightmares. Only for so long. I mean, it's like I was saying about the dynamite to the stomach. Yeah, I agree that cannot be practically achieved.
Also, you have to take into account that what that guy said there is technically correct. Like, as long as people think about Freddy, he can always come back. And if you look at especially at this day and time where we are, all of those weird campfire stories revolve around way quicker now. Like if I was one of those myths where, if you talk about Freddy Krueger, he'll show up in your dreams, there's going to be 700 YouTube videos about me already, making it virtually impossible for there to be any way of nobody knowing who I am.
This is a tough one. It's a tough one.
Like,
I mean,
he's actually,
literally,
it's weird because like Freddy's literally designed to survive in the YouTube generation.
The ST demon, I mean, in that scenario, because Freddy, I'm sure he would be able to make it curse itself. Literally, the ST demon could go fuck itself.
Yeah.
Well,
boom.
My Hail Mary for the sex demon was in the scenarios I had playing, even if Freddy and Death defeated sex demon, they would never be completely sure that they beat the sex demon. So they're always going to be looking over their shoulders for the rest of their existence. They're always going to be wondering, did I really beat it? Is every little thing walking towards me them? And I thought that's maybe a kind of victory where the winner isn't fully comfortable ever again.
But you're talking about Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy would be more than happy to kill something more than once if he had the opportunity to.
But Freddy gets tired of things.
I mean, I do like Johnny's argument that he has the ability to cheat Death. It would be an eternal fight in that scenario unless there was a third party involved.
Well, the only way you need to find some way of making Death corporeal, and getting Freddy into reality where there's some way of putting them both in. Because
that's what I mean by a third party.
If you put Death into the dream world with Freddy, that's not a fair fight.
Well, it would be.
Yeah, but
I keep picturing Death as a Grim Reaper from Family Guy.
Death would not be able to make a dent on him.
Yeah, but Death also wouldn't. Death isn't like a dream demon or whatever you want to declare Freddy as. Freddy's able to manipulate the dream world to suit his own whims at the drop of a hat and teleport around and do whatever he wants and recreate himself and do everything like that. Death would not have those abilities in the dream realm.
Well, Death has no abilities. It just happens. I say Death is an inevitability.
Yeah. Like by definition, Freddy's existence as what he is gives him an instant win over Death. Because Death tried to kill me, and it didn't work.
I think this is going to have to go to the viewers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
It's going to have to go to the viewers. I mean, gentlemen, we are having a three-way right now. Bum.
We've got 16 people watching live. If we could get 16 answers there, that'd be great.
Yeah. Who do you think would win this final battle? Would it be our boy Freddy Krueger Final Destination franchise, or the ST Demon from
Did
It
you
Follows?
send me the link for that music video?
I did. It's in the Facebook chat.
Facebook chat. Okay.
Yeah. Because we have a music video for you all tonight.
That's what we could do. We could take a quick music video break and
Let's do that. Cast your votes.
Keep talking for a minute. If this was Facebook, we could actually do a poll and people could be. Or wait, are you able to? Tom, will you take a look? Will you take a look in your creator studio where the live stream is? I believe there should be an ability to set up a poll. I'm not 100% sure.
Is not letting me.
Okay, maybe.
I think you need to do that. Okay, so while Johnny is setting this up, yes, cast your votes. Who would win this final battle with the ST Demon and Death? But if you know, it's a little bit of a secret. On DVD, it been lost into obscurity, but through the powers of YouTube and I'm good at this. So we found this music video, Reanimator, official theme to Part 3, Beyond Reanimator, and you have no idea how much you needed this in your life right now. It is so bad and so amazing at the same time. So how are we looking?
Nearly there.
Can we get this up and running?
Oh yeah. I just need to acquire it because
and conveniently, this song was never added to the PRS, so yeah, we could play it with no worries of copyright at all.
That's why we're so excited to play it, because we had it on the last stream we did.
I know. I think Tom should put on his potato mask for this video.
Yeah. We're nearly there. Sorry.
We need potato Tom. We need potato.
Sorry, viewers. It's just
potato.
The stream comes from my computer, which makes everything very slow on my end. Copy video URL.
No worries. Let's have a look. I was going to scroll back a little bit here. The problem with the ST Demon is it can switch body to body. It can avoid death body by body. That's a great point.
Yeah, I was going to actually.
That's a great. Hey, potato.
I was going to point that out.
That's a great point.
That's
So death would be in an eternal struggle, as would Freddy in that scenario. That's a great point. Well made. Well, like death could wake up and Freddy victim one, even after Freddy's killed. We've looked at that. I mean, maybe death knows the victim is trying to kill Freddy. Yeah, but he has no communication. I say he's. The It Follows Demon can get around /over/through obstacles. Okay. I remember it mentioned he could swim as well, so if you were like to jump on a plane and go to another country, it would just swim across. You could say that if Freddy gets killed by death himself, that could kill him. We don't know. It's all theoretical, isn't it? Is it possible to truly defeat Freddy, though? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the death character. Destination. You can have a look there. Where is it? He kills people via Rube Goldberg. Yeah.
That is essentially how he does things.
I've said that like twice now. Toronto Freddy. I love killing ST Demons. I'm not trying to be biased.
Okay, I have that music video ready, so if we want to...
let's keep it.
Yeah, we'll jump onto a separate screen and just let the music video play, and then we can...
So yeah, while we're playing the music, just write down who you think you would win.
Dropping it.
This is it. It's Tom with It Follows, me with Death, and Johnny with Freddy.
Drop it in the chat below while you get treated to some fantastic Euro trash music.
Yes. We're going to have a dancing potato.
Potato.
Come on, boys and girls.
And we're back.
I'm Casey. I'm a potato.
Move your dead bones, move your... It's so irritatingly catchy. Oh, to the comments, and no, it's just saying about how cheesy that is. But my God, it's amazing cheese.
That was literally like that was like a little watch Caucasian white guys dance segment there for.
And a potato.
And a potato. Verging on racist.
You know what? I remember dropping some LSD back in the 90s. I think that shit's...
Still think drugs are cool.
Okay.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Yeah, drug bad.
Okay. I think ultimately death would win in the end because you can't escape it, but Freddy will always live on in nightmares. But it's true.
Which means
My boy could
escaped
just
death.
kill those boys over and I could just kill these boys over and over
And I can
again.
keep showing up in new boys.
They just keep repeating.
And I can keep showing up in new boys.
Yeah. If this ever goes to court, I hope that wasn't sampled.
Yeah, that's going to land me in a lot of trouble. I can see that already.
I'm going back to the potato.
Back to the potato. Yeah, I would be on an infinity loop killing these guys. I would always win, but they would always return. And
If they always return, that means you've lost. If your job is to send people to the other side and they keep coming back, that's an epic fail.
Bad death.
Bad death.
Death.
Look, I'm sending you
have
home.
one
I'm
fucking
sending you
job,
home
man.
for 2 weeks, and you're going to have to think about seriously how you want to view your job after this when you come back. Fuck acting.
Death,
That's
you're
what
fired.
it is. Fuck acting.
Can you imagine if you get sent into, like, HR department? Now, Death, take a seat, please. We feel you may not be living up to your full potential here.
Living.
Do you not think there may be a job you might be better suited
Death is
to?
a nice person, but does not apply himself at work.
Sorry, I'm going to have to... Okay, please, Death, please take this with you. This is a letter of concern.
We've had some complaints from the ladies on the second floor.
Dude, every
That's
letter
see-through cloak.
like that I've ever had sent from an employer has had the word eccentric mentioned in it. Like it's nearly a badge of pride at this stage.
So yeah, I think as far as none of these guys can be eviscerated, none of them. I mean, Freddy has been, but he also came back for several other movies.
Yeah.
So
Box office winning.
What is it? Three-way draw?
I don't know. I
mean, there's an easy enough way to avoid mine. Keep it in your pants.
Yeah, that's not going to work for me.
I think it is going to have to be that way. I think they would eternally just have one up, and then the other one gets the one up, the other one gets the one up, the other one gets the one up.
They get knocked down. They get up again.
Are you
I think that's the only way.
Are you trying to tell me that it's essentially a big old circle jerk of murder?
Well, that gives us each of us 2 wins each.
Yeah.
Tom kind of came out on top just about with the collector there because he's the only one that had to have a solo.
I'm still very upset about that collector one, man.
But like true therapy should be, aren't we all winners?
Yeah. Okay. So Tom won round 1. I won round 2. I thought I blew you up.
Oh. Tom called a draw.
Draw, but you had a hollow victory.
So then that's a victory. No,
you can call it a victory if you like, but it's a hollow victory.
Yeah, but like otherwise it's a 3-way draw. Oh no, wait, still it's a 3-way draw.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, shit. Okay, yeah, shit. No, shit. No. If I get my hollow victory, that means you've only won 1, Mike.
I can bring out the big guns and just say I will always win. If it comes to a fight, Death will always win.
He won't always
you
win.
Guys will come
I
back.
came back from death repeatedly. This was literally the cusp of my argument at the start of the whole thing. You killed me, and then I came back.
You died, and then Death showed up because you didn't die.
What?
The whole reason why Death stalks the teens in Final Destination is because they didn't die.
Yeah. But I keep coming back. Unlike the teens where he eventually gets to do Death's plan, your plan will always result in me coming back.
Well, is that different from cheating Death? If you die, you're dead. But then you come back. Is that still cheating death? It's like a reset, right?
So that means I won before Freddy even turned up.
I don't know.
Maybe?
Don't.
I'm kind of confused now.
But he could.
Before
No, hang
Freddy
on.
became
Hang
a
on.
dream
Hang on.
demon, I won.
I died. I came back as a demon thing. There is the ability, if there's some sort of arrangement made, that I can get pulled into reality and be a real thing again, willy-nilly. And as long as I'm able to come back in dreams, which we've established due to the YouTube generation and me being fucking awesome, they'll be talking about me a whole lot. I'll always come back through dreams, which means I can always mindfuck someone into letting me take over their body and or come out of their body. I'm essentially the sex demon, except that I have one extra step I have to do.
You kind of work in the opposite
Yeah,
direction.
I come from the underground out, whereas they just fuck you to death and put you down.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Philosophers will be arguing for
Fuck's
ages.
sake. It's a three-way. God, no.
It's a
God
three-way.
damn it. Okay.
oh, that was
That's a lot of
That was a
arguing for
bittersweet.
everyone to come out equal.
They're both immortal. All three are immortal.
I don't know. It's from watching wrestling so much that I just have a predisposed disposition to... Like, if I was watching a triple threat match on WWE now and it came out as a three-way draw, I'd be like, what the fuck? Bullshit! That's what I'd be saying right now. Bullshit!
Well, who knows? They might just all get resignation letters. Oh, too soon.
The Cinema Reaper said the question is not if death could kill Freddy. If death could kill Freddy, could death kill the dream demons that give Freddy his powers?
Oh, from Nightmare 6. Well, Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. Yeah, let's go back.
But they'd have to be more
let's have a look.
powerful than Freddy, wouldn't they? If they made Freddy.
They are more powerful than Freddy, yeah.
So presumably you'd be in the same loophole.
When Freddy was destroyed, they left. They left his effigy, or whatever you want to call his body. AJ McFluent says, without death, the other two, let alone, have no purpose. Okay. Toronto Freddy says, diddly-dee, potatoes.
Racist. I'm only joking.
It is a bit.
It is a little bit racist. It's just thankfully Irish people over the years have learned to take the racism we get handed out to us right on the chin. And at the risk of sounding bad towards my country, the majority of us do actually like potatoes. They're a fantastic vegetable. So, you know.
Irish hot pot, right?
It's why when people do the potatoes thing to me, I can't like actually be pissed about it because I'm kind of like, you know, you're talking about a country that potatoes disappeared one time. We all nearly died. So, you know, it's...
Jay the Brave, this is going to be stuck in my head forever. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think ultimately death would win in the end because you can't escape it, but Freddy will always live on in nightmares. Yeah,
which is
again,
the exact loop we're in at the moment.
Dead and Divine 12s. What was that called again? I'm assuming you mean the song. That was called Move Your by Dr. Reanimator. Yeah. And it is a treasure to behold.
If all of you want, I'll play out the show with it as well. I don't mind. It's fine.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Fuck it.
On the provision, we have a dancing potato.
We can do a dance outro if you want, yeah. I can throw it in here. I can throw it in here instead. That's not an issue. We can do that.
Okay. It says diddly dee potatoes.
Not yet, Tom.
Yeah,
Not yet. We're still discussing.
Oh. Roping it in.
Oh. Cinema Reaper. He's brought another. Here comes a new challenger.
Oh.
The things that really kill these monsters: box office reception.
Oh,
that's
the. Oh, we have a winner.
He's not
we
wrong.
Have a winner.
Yes.
We have a winner.
Box office reception.
I mean,
only in this round. Because there was the other two rounds there was pretty solid box office reception, if memory serves. Oh no, except for your Cenobite. That was a slightly, while enjoyable for me, it was a slightly questionable.
A lot of back and forth there.
Yeah. There was a slightly questionable box office rating on that. Movie
only had
movie one was all sort of box office ratings because you had Texas Chainsaw, you had Collector, and Hannibal.
Sequels. I mean, Tom wins on that one with It Follows. There's some bad sequels.
For It Follows?
That could be a fun conversation. For those that are watching, we also have a bit of a guest coming up in the next few weeks. It might be next week. It might be the week after. I'm not going to say any names just yet, but if you're a fan of low-budget slashers of the 2000s, you may want to join us for that.
Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about yet for that, but
we don't know what we're talking about yet. But I think low-budget slashers in general may be a good one. It's a really good hidden gems out there.
I would be very happy to talk on that topic, please. I'm essentially a low-budget slasher by definition, so...
Yeah, but to be fair, just pissing away, Dollar Store Street Corner, he's not a cheap slasher.
I don't do that.
Technical jokes.
Yeah. I mean, I shoot loads of cheap horror movies and horror doodads and things like that. Okay, so look, I guess I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and say it's fucking 3-way draw. I really think I came and fell folly to the fact that the first 2 rounds, the guy that I took out at the start of the round was the guy that adjudicated the end of the round. I was like, oh no.
No, because I was out in the first round, so I was out in the second round.
Yeah, I'm only joking.
Right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let's call this a show. Oh, we're going to have a dance-off to finish with.
Yeah, I'm going to
activate.
Take the Freddy glove. No, I can do it left-handed. I want to have the Freddy glove on.
Hang on, I can bring out my my incredibly large 90s rave glow stick.
Okay. Do you want to do the goodbyes and whatever, Tom, before we... Oh, that's decent, yeah. Potato Tom, do you want to give us some outros on the show?
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks to our buddy Mike and the Gorecast. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with us for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Don't forget the...
Yeah, we have a Deadheads Facebook page now, so if you just look up the Deadheads, that's us.
Show?
The show.
The Deadheads Show is the tag.
Deadhead Show. Really big show.
It's not in the description yet, but it will be.
It's the wide eyes, man.
Love it. Oh. And I'm having too much fun.
Okay. Look, we'll just jump into the music break and we'll all get dancing and do an outro. Oh, come on.
All right. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
No, whenever this... No, you can keep talking. Oh, no, there we go. 1 minute now.
Bye.
It's coming in. There it is.
Come on, boys and girls.
Great boys. Ever hear him sing the Grinch song?